It's time for your business news now with Rofhiwa Madzena. Hello, Rofhiwa. Thank you so much for joining us. And of course, we've been focusing on the real problems we're having with water. Load shedding, of course, as well continues. And you're here to tell us about another very serious problem with our infrastructure.
Cable theft at an important corridor, Sally, and logistics is one of the big drivers of the country's economy. And what we're seeing here is that Transnet Freight Rail wants government to step in to protect the crucial Johannesburg to Durban line, which has been hit by cable theft and sabotage. In the last 2 weeks, the line, which carries cargo such as agricultural goods, chemicals, fuel, and others, has been operating at 25% capacity. Now, that's down from the usual 85%. Now, it's a huge blow to the economy, and we've got Rudzani Ligege, who is Transnet Managing Executive for that corridor, and he joins us this evening to discuss the issues around this. Very good evening to you, Rudzani, and thank you for joining us this evening. So billions have gone into security interventions on this line and others that are run by Transnet, yet the problem doesn't seem to be going away. Give us a sense of what exactly happens during instances of sabotage, cable theft, and exactly what it is you want the government to do.
No, thanks, and good evening, Rofhiwa, and to all the viewers. Yeah, I think you are right. The issue of cable theft is something that is quite a problem. You will see in the past, basically from 2015 till 2021, 2022, we have seen a 179% increase on cable theft. We've seen about 1,096% increase on the length of cable that has been stolen. Now, you will know that this line, as you've been saying, I mean, is such an important line to the economy of South Africa, connecting two big economies, basically the coastal economy and the inland economy, being Johannesburg and Durban. So this line is such an important economic driver, because also the fact that the kind of commodity that we run here goes into the manufacturing, space. And that's where we really create a lot of jobs. So it's got a lot of multiplier effect in terms of job creation. And this line is such a critical line. So with this kind of increase in cable theft, especially in the past 3 weeks, we've seen such an unprecedented increase, of cable theft, where we've seen the line not being available. I mean, in the week starting on the 14th of May, we've seen 36% of the line being available. Basically, what it means is that if you look at the week having 168 hours, and then you look at the time where the line was available to run trains, it was only 36% of those 168 hours. And in the following week, starting on the 21st of May, we've seen the number going to 27. And then, fortunate enough, we then threw everything that we had in terms of security to try and really secure the line. And the biggest challenge that we have is really between, the area of Ladysmith to PMB. So those are the kind of challenges that we are having. But we've seen an improvement, because the last week we actually operated at about 50% of the 168 hours that are available per week.
Yeah, that's quite important. And maybe if you could just let us know, because, I mean, we've had instances where just last week the CEO of furniture chain store Lewis indicating that furniture deliveries were delayed between the two big metros as a result of those dysfunctional lines. So what exactly is it that you want government to do in terms of assistance here, so that, as you've communicated to your clients, you can get back to almost full capacity in the coming days?
Yeah, I think one thing that we've made very clear is that the issue of cable theft is beyond us as Transnet only. It is something that needs, a concerted effort from all avenues, be it, ourselves, our communities as well, our customers, and even, the government in this case, where the police force, needs to come in, and we need to form, those partnerships. Those partnerships, I must say, some of them are there. But I think we just need to see the intensity, really to intensify those, law enforcement to really, partner with us. And also, as I said, with customers and communities to really start clamping down on these cable theft. Because, as you've rightly said, it has got a huge knock-on effect on a lot of things within the economy.
Are you having conversations with the private sector in terms of their involvement in assisting to create mitigating factors against the crime and sabotage that you've described increasing as much as it has in the period you've spoken of?
Yes, we are. I think if you look at some of our corridors, we've got a total of 6 corridors within Transnet Freight Rail. And some of the corridors, like the North Corridor, like the Northeast Corridor, we have seen customers coming in to really throw in help in terms of, making available securities and even technologies like drones to Transnet to try and secure some of their lines. Because the reality is that, as we are having the lines being disturbed, we are not able to export the kind of commodities that we need to export. And it really puts South Africa on a back foot in terms of competing globally, because our logistics system is simply not holding as a result of this cable theft. So we've seen some green shoots coming through some of the partnership that we've had with some of our customers.
Finally, Rudzani, if you could take us into your confidence, reports that the acts of sabotage are very intentional by specific syndicates to make sure that certain people or entities are getting truck tenders to deliver goods that cannot be delivered via rail. Have you gotten an indication of this as Transnet Freight Rail? And are there any investigations that you are aware of that are currently underway to unearth some of the criminal activity that is taking place on these important corridors?
Yeah, no, you're right. So I think our investigations are still continuing. We do have a Department of Security within Transnet, which is something we've never had before. So we are in the process of investigating some of those things, some of the allegations of sabotage. Because what you then find is that some of the cables are simply cut, not stolen. So we currently are under investigating those incidents and seeing what is it that is behind some of these incidents. I think once those investigations are concluded, we should be able to be, give determinants in terms of what really is behind some of these supposedly sabotage incidents that we're having.
Yeah, we have run out of time, but I have to ask you, do you have a figure, even if it's a broad figure, of how much you are spending to replace stolen cables or to replace cut cables so that there is some kind of movement?
Yeah, so I think just to give you an idea, we have spent something in the region of about 1.4 billion just to replace, some of our cables. And remember, this is the money that we do not budget for. It is something that really comes, because it's not a budgeted amount, and it really hits us quite heavily. And we're not even talking about the knock-on effect that these cable thefts has on the economy, the fact that you can't run trains because, the network has been disturbed. So it is really quite, and I'm not even talking about the money we're losing, the economy is losing rather, due to the disturbance that we're having on the network. It is really running into serious billions of rands, as a result of this cable theft.
Rudzani, thank you very much for your time this evening. That is Transnet Freight Rail's executive at that particular corridor, joining us this evening to talk about the cable theft and sabotage that has left them asking government to intervene and to intervene urgently.